Okay. It is Hua. Good evening, dearest friends from Finland. Oikein hyvää iltaa kaikille and warmly welcome into our Ask project and for today's work, meditative work. Toivotamme teidät kaikki sydämellisesti tervetulleeksi tämän iltaiseen mietiskelytyöhömme. And we are sorry we had the microphone on and you were hearing about the name of the one of the declared presidents of Venezuela, because today we are talking about this very great crisis in Venezuela and also the crisis in Brazil. Olemme pahoillamme, että mikrofoni oli auki ja kuulitte, kun aloitin sanomaan tuota toisen presidentin nimeä Venezuelassa. Eli puhumme tänään Venezuelasta ja Brasilian ongelmista. But before we go further, let us just listen what DK has said. This is coming from the book Daina 1 from the page 49 about the world need. Vielä ennen kuin menemme eteenpäin, kuulemme mestari DK:n asioita maailman tarpeista ja hätätilanteista. The question of psychic powers is not so easy to explain. Kysymystä fyysisistä voimista ei ole niin helppoa selittää. I do not refer to the lower psychic powers, which may or may not develop as time goes on and the need for them arises. En viittaa aiempiin fyysisiin voimiin, jotka joko kehittyvät tai eivät kehity ajan kanssa, ja tarve niille syntyy. I refer to the following capacities inherent in the soul, which must be developed in all of you if you are to do your share in meeting world need and work for the hierarchy in the field of world service. Viittaan seuraaviin sielulle myötäsyntyisiin kykyihin, joita täytyy kehittää kaikissa teissä, jos teette osanne maailman tarpeiden kohtaamisessa ja työskentelette hierarkialle maailman palvelun alueella. Let us briefly enumerate them. Luetelkaamme ne nyt lyhyesti. 1. Intuitional response to ideas. Intuitiivinen vastaaminen ideoihin. 2. Sensitiveness to the impression which some members of the hierarchy may seek to make upon the mind of the disciple. Sensitiivityys vaikutelmille, joita joku hierarkian jäsen pyrkii lähettämään oppilaan mieleen. It is for this reason that I am training you to utilize the full moon contact, ja juuri tästä syystä pyrin harjoittamaan teitä käyttämään hyväksi täydenkuun kontaktia. 3. And this is the point for us. Quick response to real need. Nopea vastaaminen todelliseen hätään. You had not regarded this as one of the psychic powers my brother had you. Te ette pitäneet tätä yhtenä psyykkisenä voimana, veljeni, vai pidittekö? I refer not here to a solar plexus reaction to the heart, but to heart knowledge. En viittaa tässä solar plexus reaktiota, vaan sydämen tietoon. Ponder on this distinction. Ja pohtikaa tätä eroa. So I read that sentence again. I refer not here to a solar plexus reaction, but to heart knowledge. En viittaa tässä solar plexus reaktioon, vaan sydämen tietoon. So we have these important thoughts again to contemplate. Meillä on taas nämä tärkeät asiat mietittävänämme. So let them sink into our consciousness. Antakaamme niiden painua tietoisuuteemme. Just few seconds ponder on this. What is the difference with the solar plexus reaction to the world need or the heart knowledge to the world need? Eli pohdiskelemme hetken aikaa, mikä on solar plexuksen reaktiivisuus maailman tarpeeseen kontra sydämen tieto maailman hädässä tai maailman tarpeessa. And now we will start. We have few steps of alignment, and then after that we will talk a little bit about the situation in Venezuela, and then we have the meditation for Venezuela, and then after that we talk a little bit about the Brazil, and then we have the work for Brazil. So we start by breathing in white light, drawing the light down from our souls. Aloitamme hengittämällä valkoista valoa, vetämällä valon alas sielustamme. Through 3 lower bodies, 3 alemman kehomme kautta. Also we align with the group which is present. Virittäydymme myöskin ryhmään, joka on paikan päällä. And with our triangle members. Ja myöskin virittäydymme kolmion jäseniimme. Welcome your sisters and brothers from different countries. Ja toivota tervetulleeksi siskot ja veljet eri maista. While we are visualizing the flow of love and goodwill passing between the members of this group and also through the triangle members. Visualisoimme rakkauden ja hyvän tahdon virran kolmion jäsentemme välillä ja myös tämän ryhmän välillä. Let us recognize now the world situation. Huomioikaamme nyt maailman tilaa. We recognize the pain and distress in the world. Huomioimme maailmassa olevan tuskan ja ahdistuksen. Align with the soul of your own nation. Virittäydy nyt Suomen sieluun. And with the heart center of your nation. Normally it is the capital city of the country by DK. Virittäydymme nyt Suomen sydänkeskukseen. DK:n mukaan yleensä se on pääkaupunki, josta se löytyy. And we call the best of the qualities of your country. Ja kutsumme parhaita Suomen laatuja. When we call upon and think about the idea of goodwill and support. Kun kutsumme hyvää tahtoa ja tukemista, that it work out in the world of humanity, niin että se työstyisi ihmiskunnan maailmassa. May our call awaken the goodwill and will to good. Herättäköön kutsumme hyvän tahdon ja tahdon hyvään. Blending the forces in closer unity in humanity. Yhdistäen voimat läheisempään ykseyteen ihmiskunnassa. May our call unite all who recognize the work of the hierarchy and what hierarchy is attempting to do. Yhdistäköön kutsumme kaikki ne, jotka tunnistavat hierarkian työn ja sen, mitä hierarkia pyrkii tekemään. And may our call evoke a desirable reaction in the work of disciples. Ja saakoon kutsumme aikaan toivotun reaktion oppilaiden työssä. We work for the Christ. Me työskentelemme Kristukselle. And remember how he promised to be at present if two or more would gather in his name. Muistamme, että hän lupasi olla läsnä, jos 2 tai useampi kokoontuisivat hänen nimessään. We stand in union with the spiritual army of the Christ, and thus forming the front of light on earth. Seisomme Kristuksen armeijan yhteydessä ja täten muodostamme valon rintaman, maanpäällisen valon rintaman. Demanding that the good manifests on earth. Samalla henkisesti vaatien hyvän manifestoitumista maan päälle. And let us say together, sanokaamme yhdessä. We have gathered in your name, Lord Maitreya, be with us. Me olemme kokoontuneet sinun nimesi, Herra Maitreya. Ole läsnä meissä. And welcome his presence. Toivota hänen läsnäolonsa tervetulleeksi. In every country, all around the world, the soul is rising. Kaikkialla maailmassa, jokaisessa maassa, sieluvoimat nostavat myös päätään. The same way as there are forces from the counterforce, samalla tavoin kun on voimia toiselta puolen. So let us all align with the forces at Shambhala. Virittäytykäämme nyt myös voimiin, jotka on Shambhalassa. Focusing upon your head center, call forth, keskittäytyen pääkeskukseesi, kutsu, the forces of restoration of the plan. Suunnitelman jälleenrakentamisen voimia. Forces of enlightenment. Valaistumisen voimia. Forces of reconstruction. Uudelleen järjestäytymisen voimia. And we align again with the monthly energy of Aquarius. Virittäydymme samalla myös tämän kuukauden energiaan vesimieheen. We generate all of these energies and now we start to work for Venezuela. Me säteilemme kaikkia näitä energioita samalla kun aloitamme työmme keskittäytymällä Venezuelaan. So we have here the image where Venezuela is situated in Southern America. Tässä näemme kuvan, missä Venezuela on. And also we have the flag of Venezuela. Ja Venezuelan lippu, we can think about these higher correspondences to these colors, the Buddhic colors, the second ray color, and the first ray color, the red. Me voimme ajatella buddhisen tason väriä keltaista, toisen säteen sinistä ja ensimmäisen säteen punasta. But this is interesting. The coat of arms of Venezuela. Ja tässä on Venezuelan vaakuna. I'm not going to go very deep into that, but if this situation, any one of you who has been following, there are some interesting things. One of the things on the top of this emblem are the cornucopias, 2 cornucopias, which is the horn of plenty. And it is somewhat devastating to see that this plenty, which is in the coat of arms, which is some kind of a higher symbolism of this country, it is not manifesting. On mielenkiintoista todella taikka surullista huomata, että tuolla vaakunan yläpuolella on kornukopia, eli runsauden sarvi, ja se ei todellakaan toteudu tässä ajassa. Then we have the purified personality, the white horse, but it is going towards the left, which is symbolizing always about the past. So, and then we have the bunch of wheat, which is again symbolizing about the plenty, and then we have the symbolism about the war on the right corner. So just by studying this, it gives a lot of hints, and I just let you to study by your own, because we don't have time for that to open this more. But just these few things, they can be taken into your own meditation. Voisimme katsoa tuota pidemmälle, mutta meillä ei ole aikaa tuohon. Vehnä tuolla vasemmassa yläkulmassa kuvaa runsautta samalla tavalla, ja sitten on sodan symboleja, ja sitten tuo valkoinen hevo, joka on puhdistuneen persoonallisuuden symboli. So now there is this situation which is very strange at the moment. Tällä hetkellä on hyvin kummallinen tilanne. There are 2 presidents, and Michael is going to talk very soon, but I'm asking if you know anything about the astrology of Venezuela. Do they have some energies of Gemini? Because it's very interesting to see this is the only country at the moment who has 2 sitting presidents, and they are also only 2 weeks ago. On the left is this sitting president Nicolas Maduro, who had been sworn into a second 6-year terms in office just 2 weeks ago. And now, 23rd of January, the leader of the legislature, Juan Guaido, declared himself as an acting president. Eli Maduro tuossa vasemmalla vannoi vasta 2 viikkoa sitten valansa, ja sitten oikealla on Juan Guaido, joka julisti muutama päivä sitten itsensä toimivaksi presidentiksi. So now I keep the word for Michael, and he is going to just have a synopsis of the situation.
I think that July the 5th, 1811, is the founding of Venezuela. So it's a Cancerian country and has recently been experiencing the opposition of Pluto, which is makes a lot of sense. You know, the main commodity there has been oil, and there have been such disruptions in the oil market that the country has been plunged into poverty. I think with did I read that correctly? 18 million times or 10 million percentage of inflation. The money is worthless.
Yeah, that is true.
The money is worthless, and the public availability of food is extremely scant, and you know, people are eating the cats and dogs off the street, and they're eating each other's pets if they catch them, so there are very few cats and dogs and pets of that nature. The public health is descending, and people are going without absolutely necessary medicines. I think what we see with, it's a continuation of the socialist government of the previous president, and is not able to provide for his people. But there is a tremendous tenacity to hold on to power. Venezuela is an influential country, but the people are migrating. I think you have maybe some pictures of the trails of migration that they are taking. Millions are leaving, and you know, the level of the quality of life is extremely low right now, except maybe among the very highest classes who are determined to hang on to their power. Naturally, since it's a socialist government, it's being supported by China and Russia, and the United States is being accused of meddling in the Venezuelan affairs, but the present administration is supporting the so to speak, other president, Juan Guaido, if that's how his name is pronounced. He's a young man who seems to have a much different attitude than the insistence at all costs, including the cost to the people, of the retention of power by Nicolas Maduro. So we have a deteriorating situation, and a situation where people wonder how long Maduro can really last. The people are suffering immensely in ways that we in the Western countries cannot conceive. And
yes, we can have now these few images about people. In this kind of situation, it is always so that the majority of the folks will try to find a strong leader who would lead them out, because the sixth ray is the strong ray in humanity, and it is always so that then when things are going very bad, one starts to look after a better leader. And that's why when we think about Latin American temper, the character, it is very easily then showing the anger. So the anger is growing in the country, and in that sense the chaos is growing in the country. Tuo latinalais-amerikkalainen temperamentti on hyvin tulinen, ja sen tähden tuolla kaikkialla viha nousee valtaviin mittoihin. And it's always when the country is in this kind of point that there is the civil war at hand, then we know that there is also great opportunity, that the soul is trying to come further. Aina kun on tilanne, jossa on siviilisota mahdollista, niin silloin sieluvoimat ovat liikkeellä. And that is why we gather now together, trying to call help for Venezuela. Juuri siksi me pyrimme kutsumaan apua Venezuelalle. This flee from Venezuela has been about over 3 million according to United Nations. Tämä YK:n mukaan yli 3 miljoonaa ihmistä on jo paennut Venezuelasta and to these neighboring countries, and it has said that it is nearly the same situation than in Europe. So something is going on if you think about in the department of Manu, because Manu is always behind those movements on earth, what we cannot understand. Myös Manun osastossa tapahtuu jotain muutoksia. But this is also the everyday life now, that people have to queue. They are marking their numbers at their hand, and they are queuing for shops, grocery stores, and they have to go to different stores in order to find something, and this is unbelievable. Michael was already hinting, but it is 1,300,000% of the annual inflation rate. Eli 1,300,000 inflaatio on vuodessa. Meaning that every 19th day the prices are doubled. Tarkoittaen joka 19. päivä hinnat kaksinkertaistuvat. And people just cannot have money for food anymore. Ja siksi ihmiset ei kerta kaikkiaan ei riitä rahaa ruokaan. This devastating things is what Michael already said, is that people on the streets, they are hunting cats and dogs and trying to have food from that. Ihmiset, kodittomat ihmiset kaduilla metsästävät koiria ja kissoja toisten kotieläimiä ja syövät niitä. And these images are from the zoo of in Venezuela, that not only people but the animals. And I cannot understand these. How it is possible? Is it really so that no international help can go there? Because it is just devastating to look this kind of starving animals which are in prison. On kerta kaikkia sydäntä särkevää katsoa näitä eläimiä, jotka ovat vankina tuolla Venezuelan eläintarhassa. So these just for us to have a little flavor about the depth of the need, the depth of the pain, the sorrow what is in Venezuela. Ja tässä vain meille muutamia asioita nähdä se hirvittävä hätä, mikä on Venezuelassa.
Actually, I have a little bit because Dr. Jose Becerra is informed of this, and also Diana Bolbachan lives there, and they have said various things which maybe I should just read out, you know. There's been a declaration, now I'm reading from Jose, and then Diana has some things to say here. A declaration by the High Representative on behalf of the European Union on the situation. Apparently that has come, and he gives us a link for that. The massive popular demonstrations which have taken place in Venezuela over the last days have been met with indiscriminate violence from the authorities. As I said, you know, those in power want to retain it at any cost. And this has been leading to the tragic death of numerous people and many more injured and arrested. The European Union firmly condemns these actions and offers its deep condolences to the families of the deceased. The EU reiterates that the presidential elections last May in Venezuela were neither free, fair, nor credible, lacking democratic legitimacy. The country urgently needs a government that truly represents the will of the Venezuelan people. The EU reiterates its full support to the NA, to the National Assembly, which is the democratic, legitimate body of Venezuela, and whose powers need to be restored and respected, including the prerogatives and safety of its members. So Jose goes on, we reaffirm our deep belief that a peaceful and inclusive democratic solution is the only sustainable way out of the current political impasse and the severe social crisis it has provoked. I think, he's summarizing here. The EU strongly calls for the urgent holding of free, transparent, and credible presidential elections in accordance with internationally democratic standards and the Venezuelan constitutional order. In the absence of an announcement on the organization of fresh elections with the necessary guarantees over the next days, the EU will take further action, including on the issues of recognition of the country's leadership in line with Article 233 of the Venezuelan Constitution. The EU stands with the Venezuelan people in this critical hour and will continue to follow events closely, including at the next foreign ministers meeting, etc. And Jan is thanking Jose for the added insights here. Jose goes on a bit more. The EU stands ready to act in support of immediate and credible process of engagement, including through the immediate establishment of an international contact group and Contacts and coordination with regional and international partners are ongoing and will be intensified in the coming hours. Diana Bolbachan, I believe, who lives in Venezuela. We also have two national assemblies, Spanish Asamblea Nacional, the legislature for Venezuela, she says. The government does not recognize the democratic one voted democratically. So Juan Guaidó is not self-proclaimed, it says. He was the president of the National Assembly democratically elected. And there's something here about, I don't know if this is the correct word, but it seems to say Hezbollah terrorists also support Maduro. And there's something like the salary is $9. I'm not sure
for a month.
It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
Yeah, it could be so because people do not have food, money for food, and there is no food.
Just a little bit more. Juan Guaidó did not self-proclaim as president. He's the Speaker of the National Assembly, and the first to the presidency once vacant, as it is now recognized by the EU. And I think Olivia here from the Spiritual Life TV channel is saying that Venezuelans reported losing on average 11 kilograms, 24 pounds in body weight last year, and almost 90% now live in poverty. And Diane Bolbachan says, yes, it's $9 per month.
So thank you very much for all of your input and what it means for us that let us all study that in our own as well and take this into our meditation work. This situation is too dangerous and it is too alarming, and also it is asking our right human relations to be established. It is calling us our hard response. The DK is always saying about that we are not supposed to put our nose into the political argumentation, but what it is that we stand, all of us united. That is our right as the members of human family, and we demand, spiritually we demand, that also these inner forces have to come and help us, and they will not come without our call. Of course, there are, I'm sure, millions of prayers going now from the nation of and people of Venezuela, surely, but we are here to help every single one who needs the help now to call Christ forces.
I have a little bit more that I was talking to Jose today, and I mentioned humanitarian crisis, and he says, yes, it is that, and far more. It's also a geopolitical crisis with danger for both of the Americas, or for all of the Americas.
Yeah, and of course, when we look globally, of course these kind of things are now rising everywhere. It is the question now how the humanity itself will respond to this. They must come, all of these dark ideas and very selfish way of trying to control the others. It's so ancient and it is very deep rooted in human psyche. So now we have great opportunity on earth to really change the direction in that old ways to the new. So now let us all align again into this meditation work and remember what DK said. He for whom the whole world waits has said that whatsoever shall be asked in his name, and with faith in the response, will see it accomplished. Hän, jota koko maailma odottaa, on sanonut, että mitä tahansa pyydetään hänen nimensä vastaukseen uskoen, se tulee tapahtumaan. And now, dearest friends, we will have 5 minutes silence and we work for Venezuelan people. We call help, the great ones, to respond. to this deep, huge need, an emergency what is in Venezuela. Ja nyt pidämme 5 minuutin hiljaisuuden omalla tavallasi kutsu apua Venezuelan ihmisille, sisarillemme ja veljillemme. And now we will have 5 minutes silence. Let us see our standing in firmness in the circle of working disciples, your soul friends. Seisomme järkähtämättömästi työtä tekevien oppilaspiirissä, sieluystäviesi. And visualize the Christ, the coming one, in the heart of Venezuela. Ja näen nyt Kristus, hän joka tulee Venezuelan sydämessä. With him, the forces of light, ja hänen kanssaan valon voimat, the forces of restoration of plan, forces of enlightenment, forces of reconstruction. Me näemme jälleen rakentamisen ja valaistumisen voimat. And visualize the problems disappearing, dissolving into light. Näe ongelmien katoavan, hajoavan valoon. And this is now up to us to commit to work for Venezuela, not only today, but continue that. But I want to end talking about Venezuela and thinking about it now to these beautiful two images, which are really outstanding. Haluan lopettaa näihin kahteen mahtavaan kuvaan. This is from the National Park, Canaima National Park. And these mountains are among the oldest exposed formations on the planet. Ja nämä on vanhimpia vuorimuodostumia planeetallamme. When we have so old something, maybe there are also that kind of old forces now involved into this process. And that is a great opportunity to transform all of that into the present program of the solar system. Kun on vanhoja asioita, niin on uskomaton mahdollisuus muuntaa ne uuteen ohjelmaan. And then this amazing thing also that there from this same place there are angel falls, which are the world's highest uninterrupted waterfalls. Tämä on enkelin putous, joka on kaikista korkein putous maailmassa. So may it indicate now that these forces of angels, the Christ's angels, are falling down for aid. May we have that kind of image for us. Ja kantakoon tämä sellaista kuvaa, että Kristuksen enkelit putoavat, tulevat maahan auttamaan venezuelalaisia. And for Venezuela, we will sound the mantra of unification. En Venezuelalle lausumme yhdistymisen mantran. The sons of men are one, and I am one with them. I seek to love, not hate. I seek to serve and not exact you service. I seek to heal, not hurt. Let pain bring due reward of light and love. Let the soul control the outer form and life and all events, and bring the light, the love, that underlies the happenings of the time. Let vision come and insight. Let the future stand revealed. Let inner union demonstrate, and outer cleavages be gone. Let love prevail. Let all men love in Venezuela. And now we are talking about the neighboring country Brazil. Nyt puhumme Brasilista, naapurimaasta. Few days ago there was a collapse of the dam. Muutama päivä sitten murtui pato. And this has brought also some devastating things in Brazil. Tämä on tuonut hätää Brasiliaan. This mud river, what was coming in huge speeds, was cutting also one bridge, as you can see here. Siellä silta sortui myös. And it is, I don't remember, it is just tens of kilometers, miles and miles that this mud river has been pouring in, and as you see, there is nothing but mud. Tuolla ei ole mitään muuta kuin mutaa. And this mud has all kinds of things in it. And if you think about this rescue group there, how can you find from there people? So over 300 people are missing. Also little animals, they are also the same way. So let us listen. Here you see that it is not, of course, everywhere. It is a certain stream which was coming down. But let us listen. Our friend Tanya from Brazil, who was just writing to us. So she is writing. Kuuntelemme Tanjaa Brasiliasta, joka vasta kertoo, ja tämä tulee nyt taas englanniksi. Concerned message about this huge disaster involving the breaking of 3 huge dams in Brazil, generating a river of mud and which will soon contaminate the rivers that supply water in the city of Belo Horizonte. Last night, they only had registered 7 deaths, but the number of people who have disappeared is over 300. The disaster happened at noon, and the river of mud full of iron contents covered the entire area of the restaurant and administration building, where employees and workers were. It is impossible to identify the bodies due to the density of the mud they have submerged. The firefighters and federal military troops are going to the area, which is of difficult access, in order to help with locating the victims or survivors. The Brazilian president is traveling to the state of Minas Gerais today. Some emergency committee met all afternoon and evening yesterday, and also throughout the weekend in Brasilia. The surge of people had to be discontinued during the evening since there was no electricity working, only in a small place where relatives of the victims have gathered anxiously for information. This is the second great accident involving mining giant companies, leaving huge environmental damage, but this one, controlled by the third largest company in Brazil, VALE, will have not only to environmental damage but the worst loss of human lives in this kind of accidents. Yes, we need your prayers. They have no idea what happened, but environmentalists like World Wide Fund and Greenpeace are stating that we can assume one thing: the government policies and regulations, federal inspections and international supervision supplying modern technology have to be immediately reviewed. As you know, multinationals are taking advantage of our deepest economic crisis in the last 20 years to devastate our environment. It is a very sad situation. Many thanks again to all of you. Tanya and students of Federatio Moria, Brazil. So we are with Tanya and her friends and all of those sisters and brothers in Brazil who have now face this kind of situation. So we will have again now 5 minutes silence for Brazil, and we invoke help, all help in this devastating situation. Pidämme nyt 5 minuutin hiljaisuuden Brasilialle. And let us see the Christ, the coming one, in the heart of Brazil. Näkäämme Kristus tuleva Brasilian sydämessä. And we visualize all these problems in the area of the damage disappearing. Ja näemme kaikki ongelmat, mitkä ovat tuolla alueella katoavan. Dissolving into the light, hajoavan valoon. And let us gather together in our minds, visualizing that we form a strong alliance around the world. Näin nyt, että muodostamme voimakkaan liiton ympäri planeetan. Standing in firmness, in the circle of working disciples, your soul friends. Seisoen järkähtämättömästi työtä tekevien oppilaspiirissä, sielun ystäviesi. In the growing understanding of the coming of the reappearance of the Christ. Tuossa kasvavassa tietoisuudessa, että Kristus lähestyy. And thus, see in your inner eyes the Christ in the heart of your country. Näe nyt Kristus oman maasi sydämessä. And we try to align with all of those prayers around the world. Virittäytykäämme kaikkiin niihin rukoukseen ympäri planeetan. Our sisters and brothers in need, they call help. Kaikki sisaret ja veljet ympäri maailman kutsuvat apua. We are those who need to act. We need to be the channels of these higher energies, which will then help humanity to go through these times of transformation. Meidän tulee olla niitä, jotka seisomme yhdessä ja tuomme tuon suuren transformaation ihmiskunnalle ja autamme menemään läpi. Let us now say together, O Lord of light and love, come forth and rule the world. May the Prince of Peace appear, end the warring of the nations. Oi valon ja rakkauden Herra, tule esiin ja johda maailmaa. Ilmestyköön rauhan prinssi ja lopettakoon kansojen taistelut. May the reign of light and love and justice be begun. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with us. Alkakoon valon ja rakkauden ja oikeudenmukaisuuden hallintokausi. Tulkoon rauha päälle maan ja alkakoon se meissä. Om mani padme hum. Now, thank you, dearest friends. Nyt kiitämme jälleen, rakkaat ystävät. Thank you for being together with us, working together. Kiitämme, että olitte kanssamme työskentelemässä yhdessä, seisomassa yhdessä. Let us continue our work by our own and with our groups. Jatkakaamme työtämme keskenämme ja itsessämme ja ryhmissämme. Responding to the need of the world. Vastaten maailman tarpeisiin. Michael, do you have anything that you want to say?
Well, I think you've said it. We have to attend with the esoteric methods we've been given to the transformation which must come within the next 6 years as we prepare for the great conclave of 2025 and as the forces of the counterforce resist with everything they have. So let's stay together, work together esoterically, and bring about a better situation. As for tomorrow, we continue with our Ask program, the evocation, attracting of money, financial resources for the spiritual work.
So lots of love to everybody, and let us keep our flag high and indicating that the forces of light are here. Pitäkäämme lippua korkealla. Valon voimat ovat täällä. Namaste, good night from Finland. Hyvää yötä täältä etelästä.